Every street has a window glowing. Every face has a story untold. There's a lane where the lanterns are waiting, where the lost ones come home. Luminos Lane, where the light never fades. Every question, every quiet ache finds a table, finds a friend, finds a name. You are seen here, you are not the same. Come and find your way to Luminos Lane.
Every city has a street like this one, the kind you walk past 100 times before you ever really see it. And every person has a question like this one, the kind you carry past 100 times before you ever say it out loud.
Heart's gotta go somewhere. Can't just leave a hole in the middle of the page.
Kalem City has 8 million ways to be unseen. Luminos Lane is the one place that seems to notice you back.
And then, the substitute teacher calls me Lena for the third time. And I let it happen, Ezra. I became Lena. I have accepted my fate as Lena.
You could have corrected her.
And give up free anonymity? Lena doesn't have homework. Lena's living her best life right now.
You look like you lost a fight with your own brain again.
Brain won. It usually does.
You didn't ask. I made anyway. Sit.
How do you always know?
40 years of watching faces walk through that door. Yours says thinking too hard about something it can't say out loud.
Just last episode, with my dad's old box, found that drawing he kept of me. Made me think about that question again. Who am I when you take away the stuff other people gave me? The name, the face, all of it.
That's a very Kai thing to spiral about over noodles.
It's a gift.
It's not a small question, though. I used to think it was just me being dramatic. After my sister, I kept asking what was even left of me once the part that was her brother didn't have a job to do anymore.
Okay, but real talk, I've got the opposite problem. I'm Lena at home, who only speaks Korean and bows to my grandmother. And I'm Lena at school, who says bet, unironically. Some days I genuinely don't know which one's the rerun.
3 different ways of asking the exact same question. Lucky timing. I happen to have an answer brewing. Eat first. Then come stand by the stove a minute, Kai. Bring your notebook.
Mr. Song has run this counter for longer than anyone can quite remember. He has never once given a straight answer in under 3 sentences. And somehow that's exactly why people keep asking him things.
Tell me what you see.
A pot of soup?
2 things in one bowl, once it's served. The broth, made first, simmered for hours. The part that does all the real work, gives everything its flavor, its warmth. And the noodles, the vegetables, the meat. The part you can actually chew. The part you'd say you're eating.
Sure. Okay.
Now, which one is the soup?
Both? I mean, you need both, or it's just wet noodles or a cup of broth.
Both. But they were never equal partners. The broth came first. I built it before anything else hit the pot. And the broth is what decides whether the whole bowl works. Noodles can be perfect, and if the broth's wrong, the whole thing tastes wrong. Broth's right, even average noodles taste like home. You're asking who you are once you take away everything other people gave you. I think you're asking the wrong half of the bowl, Kai. You're staring at noodles. The name your dad gave you, the face you got from your mom, the city you got dropped into. That's the part you can see and chew and complain about. But there's a broth under all of it. something that was poured into you first, before any of the visible stuff got added. That part isn't made of what happened to you.
It's an old idea, older than Calum City itself, that there are two of you living in the same skin. One that the world built, and one that was breathed in before the world ever got a hand on you.
Breathed in by who, though?
I'll ask you something instead. You ever watch a stray cat in the alley out back? Hungry hunts, sleeps in the sun, hisses if you get too close, doesn't agonize over any of it. It just is a cat, fully, completely, no argument with itself.
Okay.
You ever agonize over being a cat?
No?
Right. Because something in you isn't just running on instinct the way the cat is. The cat can't choose to be a different kind of cat. You, on the other hand, you can choose to be kind on a day you feel cruel. You can choose to keep drawing even when the empty page wins most days. That's not noodles, Kai. That's broth. That's the part of you that gets to choose, not just react.
So the empty space in my drawing
Might not be empty. Might just be a part of the page you haven't learned to draw yet.
Most people spend their whole lives arguing with their own noodles. The face, the name, the family, the city, wishing the visible parts were different. Few stop to ask what's underneath, simmering, older than the argument itself.
Okay, but here's the part that bugs me. If there's this whole reeler me under the noodles, why does it feel like the noodles win literally every day? Why do I feel like garbage more than I feel like whatever you're describing?
Because the noodles have had years of practice running the show, and the broth's been politely waiting its turn. You feed a thing, it gets stronger. You've been feeding the part of you that says, "Why bother since your dad left?" That part got good at being loud.
Yeah,
I'm not telling you that part's evil, Kai. I'm telling you it's in charge of the wrong things. It's good at feeling hunger, hurt, wanting to disappear when things get hard. It's just bad at seeing far. It only knows what's right in front of it today. It doesn't know how to hope past Tuesday.
cool. So I'm stuck being run by the part of me that can't see past Tuesday.
Not stuck. In training.
Come again?
This pan is 40 years old. You know how it got this finish? Not by sitting on a shelf being protected. By heat. Over and over. Burned a few meals into it before it learned how to hold flavor right. A pan that's never been on the fire is just a piece of metal with potential nobody's tested.
So the bad days are seasoning.
I wouldn't say it that cute to someone in the middle of a bad day. But yes, the struggle you're in, your dad, the empty page, the days the noodles win, it's not proof something's broken in you. It's the heat doing its job. Nobody gets the kind of steady you're going to need for this life without going through some fire first.
Does it stop? The noodles winning?
Some days they'll still win. I'm 68, Kai, and mine still win some days. But it gets less like a war you're losing alone, and more like a war you've got real backup for. That part's a longer conversation. One I think you're not quite ready to hear the end of yet.
Mr. Song has a habit of stopping exactly one sentence before the whole answer. The kids used to find it maddening. Lately, they've started to wonder if he's leaving room for them to walk the rest of the way themselves.
Song give you the soup speech?
And the pan speech. Did you get the soup speech too?
Mine was about dumplings, pleating the edges. Took me a year to actually get what he meant.
Can I tell you something kind of insane?
You drew yourself as a robot with a hole for a heart. I think we're past the bar for insane.
Fair. Okay. I keep thinking about how there's, 8 million people in this city, and not one of them is actually me. Like, statistically, that's insane. 8 million tries, and not one accidental copy.
I think about that with my sister sometimes. There'll never be another her. Not because she died. Even if she'd lived 100 years, there was never going to be a second one made. Every single person is a first draft that's also the final draft. No do-overs, no copies, not even for twins. I looked it up once. Identical twins, same DNA down to the letter, and they still come out different people. Different fears, different laughs. Something in them isn't coming from the DNA at all.
So what you're saying, we're like limited edition?
I'm saying nobody's a placeholder. Not you, not me, not her. Whatever made you, Kai, it wasn't being careless. You don't accidentally make 8 billion completely original people if you're not paying close attention.
It's a strange kind of comfort, realizing you're impossible to copy. The city suddenly looks less like a crowd you're lost in, and more like a room where every single light is on purpose.
One shot, no reruns.
One shot. Which either makes it terrifying or makes it the only thing that actually matters.
Why not both?
Across the hall, in the smaller story nobody puts in the trailer, a mother asks her own version of the same question. Quieter and far less often, because there's rarely anyone around to ask it to.
Is this just what I am now? Tired, behind on everything, enough for nobody.
You're doing the math face again.
The math face, is that new?
Older than me, probably.
Kai,
Song's been feeding me soup metaphors. Ezra's been doing the math on 8 billion people. Apparently I'm one of one. Limited edition. Figured maybe you are too.
limited edition, I'll take it. Beats discount bin.
I don't know all the answers yet. I don't think Song does either, not the whole thing. But I don't think the empty part of either of us is actually empty. I think it's just waiting on something.
Nobody on this street has all the answers yet. Not Kai, not Mr. Song, not even Diana, lying awake doing math that never quite adds up. But something has shifted tonight. A single, quiet certainty, small enough to carry in a sketchbook, that the emptiest feeling parts of a person were never actually empty. Just unfinished. Just waiting for the rest of the picture. Every question has been asked before. Every answer has been waiting. Some of them just a little further down the lane than you've walked yet.